Andrew McCART, IFL TV in association with MTK Global. Finally, I'm joined by my good mate Alex Arthur. Alex, I've had interviews with American fighters, London fighters, but the guy that lives right next to me, I'm kind of get a hold of.
Oh man, I've not had much motivation at all lately to speak to. The boss just came in. It's all right, he's away. Not had much motivation lately to speak about much. So there's not that much going on, and when there's not much going on about boxing, you're like, what am I going to talk about? But here we are. We always find something to talk about, mate, don't we? So.
Yeah, exactly, mate. We'll figure something out. But what I want to talk about is obviously youth to starters. I mean, I can see that you're in your gym. Like, you're never at your gym, which is you're obviously training your two young boys, Alex Jr. and Macklin. I mean, is that just being in this gym, being in this environment, is that just keeping you sane at this time?
Aye, no, it really, really is. And I mean, I think it's keeping us all safe because, you know, the boys had competitions coming up and, you know, Macklin had a few internationals that he was due to compete in, and obviously they're out the window now as well. So, you know, it's just been about, you know, just try to stay in shape, stay positive, and just, you know, just keep everything going as normal, which is really, really hard as well for that, especially Alex, because he's 18 years old and, he could be having fun with his friends, and, you know, so it's hard for him as well to stay motivated right now and, you know, keep looking at, you know, what could be coming up. I think he was about to enter the Scottish Senior Championships for the first time, and, you know, so that was all done and cancelled as well. So, but keeping them motivated, it's not been that difficult. They're like Macklin especially is like a wee pro anyway, and Alex been training sometimes twice a day on most days. So, really, really impressive stuff for them. I'm quite proud of them actually, the way that they've kind of kept a good state of mind, and they keep saying when everything opens back up and it's time for, you know, everybody to get going again, we'll be well ahead of the game, and it's quite cool.
Alex, it looks like you're still well ahead of the game. I mean, look at your arms there, mate. I mean, are you still training hard?
Well, I'm trying. I mean, we've not got the facilities. Obviously, I like to lift weights and stuff a bit now, and, you know, and try and keep my. I find it's the thing that keeps me from getting fat is lifting weights. When I just I'm just going to start hitting the bags and I'll do a bit of pads and maybe do the odd bit cardio. I can't run because I've not got great knees. I tend to put on more weight, or I tend to put on more fat. But when I'm lifting weights and you know, and I'm sticking to a kind of, well, you could say basically a bodybuilding or body part routine, I tend to keep in better shape than what I do. So although I'm boxing with the boys and stuff, I do like to lift my weights, and as I say, it keeps me kind of lean. But right now, I've not got the weights that I need. So I think I've dropped something. I think about 4 or 5 kilos in the past 6 weeks. I think.
Is that just muscle, like, or?
It probably will be. I mean, I would imagine it will be. Hopefully, there's a bit of fat disappears there as well, but I'm not sure, Andrew. To be honest, I'm not really that sure.
I've got to ask as well, Alex. I mean, I've seen you put. I think you posted a video of what's that there you're drinking?
Oh, it's special Scottish juice.
Aye,
made by Brewdog.
Brewdog, aye, good man, good man. I was going to say, I seen you hitting the bag a couple of weeks ago. You posted a wee video, man. You've never had itchy knuckles, because before I want to talk about Mike Tyson and like his return and stuff like that, but I'm about the Holyfield saying they're coming back. You've never had itchy knuckles, have you?
Not really. Nah, to be honest, no. You know, it's you know, I think people get itchy knuckles for me. You know, when they see me hitting the bag, they're like, wow, like unbelievable, like the speed, the power, and I'm like, that's nice, but, you know, I haven't got any plans on taking on any young lions that are as hungry as what I was when I was 21, 22, 23, 24. No chance. It's purely about staying, you know, mentally well and physically healthy. And of course, I believe boxing's the best form of cardio training that anybody can do. And I just love to just throw the gloves on every now and then and just hit the bags. But there's never any thought of, oh man, I've still got the power. You know, I could, for a start, if I was going to like think about even consider competing, it'd have to be against somebody my own age, and there is no way. And there is no way.
Fuck that! No, I don't want none of that smoke, Alex. I want none of that smoke.
There's no way, Andrew. I could get. I didn't even think I could get into light heavyweight now without struggling terribly. You know,
That's a scary thought. To think that you box at featherweight.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And I think I was having a bit of a debate with some guy on Twitter the other day who doubted the fact that there was a point in my super featherweight career when I was 80 kilograms. But it's a fact, I was 80 kilograms, maybe even a wee bit more. I think on the nutritionist records, I was 81.4 at one point before my last ever super featherweight camp. And that's just ridiculous. I mean, it's just a joke. And I'm probably now, I think I'm around 84, 85 now. And I didn't think I could even get to 12.6 without really hurting myself.
It's crazy, eh?
It's crazy, man. I need to get up the Brewdogs.
Show me the Brewdog. What one you got? Let's give him some advertising.
What have I got? I've got the Dead Pony Club. It's a session IPA. I love IPAs. They're great. So just 2 or 3 of these on a Friday. That's me. Sorted.
You've got me.
I'm training tomorrow, so I can never have too much.
All right, it's a shame that we're on this quarantine.
Save that for a night out in Edinburgh, mate. Whenever
exactly, we'll still do that night out, mate. We definitely still do that night out.
We are.
I mentioned it there as well, Mike Tyson. I mean, what's your thoughts on the big man saying that he's wanting to come back and stuff like that? And he's released videos of him hitting the pads and stuff. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I think it's all a bit. I think it's to keep people amused in these kind of awful times, and I don't think there's any seriousness behind that at all. Of course, there's been rumours stirred up about him and Shannon Briggs. There's other rumours going around that it's him and Evander Holyfield, that they're going to have a rematch and all this kind of stuff. I just think it's all smoke in the wind, to be fair. You know, I don't think there's any truth in it at all. But isn't it great to see them looking after themselves and training daily and still looking very, very sharp? It's really impressive.
Okay, I want to ask you this question then. Evander Holyfield has said that he would love to do a 4-round exhibition with Mike Tyson, the trilogy between the two of them. As a boxing fan, Alex, would you want to see that? Because me personally, I kind of want to see it. I don't know why, but I kind of want to see them two.
Well, it's a good point you made, because probably along the same lines of thinking for me is the fact that they're icons, they're legends, and they're guys more for our era. So, you know, we grew up watching these guys. You know, my dad, common knowledge in boxing, my dad would wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch Tyson in the late 80s and stuff. And, you know, and obviously if you were watching Tyson, Holyfield would be there or thereabouts as well. So, you know, to see them still compete at this age, it would be a spectacle. And it would be interesting to see as well, like, how much they've still got in the tank. And, you know, and it would certainly be something I would watch. I would like to think that it wasn't taken too seriously as well, because let's not forget, these two guys are massively competitive. They didn't want to lose at throwing coins against the wall. They didn't want to get beat at pitchy.
No, pitchy, aye.
Hey, they didn't want to lose at pitchy. So when you think about that, you know, the fact that you've got two of the world's greatest ever heavyweight fighters fighting at an older age, they'd probably be like, I want to get one up on you tonight. And then so would he think the same. So it might turn into be a bit of a war. But if you just seen them going through a kind of like, you know, going through the moves and showing flashes of their own brilliance, and in my opinion, Holyfield's combinations and punch variety, Tyson's sheer speed and venom, you know, if you've seen a wee bit of that, it'd definitely be a spectacle, eh? Definitely.
The thing is, with the heavyweight division during this lockdown, this quarantine, is sort of like grabbed all the headlines with Mike Tyson saying he's coming back, and then there's obviously Tyson Fury, Joshua, Wilder stepping aside and stuff like that. Yeah. I want to get 2 parts to this question then, Alex. Do you think Wilder should take step aside money to give us Joshua and Fury, and who do you think wins that fight between obviously Fury and Joshua?
I think Wilder should take step aside money. I think it'd be the smart. If I was Wilder's manager, I would certainly advise him to take step aside money. A couple of reasons for that. One being, I think that the likeliness of him possibly being on the slide is quite high. Mm-hmm. That might sound a bit unfair, but that's my personal opinion. I think that that fight might have took something out of him that I'm not too sure he can get back again. His devastating power, the terrifying aura that he carries with him in almost every fight is kind of gone now. So when that goes, sometimes other fighters find a newfound level of confidence. I can beat this guy as well. And normally it does happen in the heavyweight. So for me, I think that Wilder would be really wise to take a couple of million quid to step aside to let Fury and obviously Joshua go to war.
Let's talk about it then. If they or when they do go to war, who for you wins that fight? I mean, that's a good fight to watch. It's a hard one to pick, but as a boxing man, pundit yourself, Alex, man, who do you think's got the edge at this moment in time?
Well, right now I've got to go with Tyson. I just think his overall level of sort of confidence right now will be through the roof, much more so than Joshua's. I think, based on his last performance, you've got to give him the edge there as well. Totally dominated the most fearsome heavyweight possibly since Mike Tyson. There's an argument for it, he totally dominated him, bullied him, outboxed him, he outthought him, he out-staminaed him, if you want to call it that. He done that as well. So you really do have to think that if you break down the areas, I like to break down the areas and get all technical and nervy about the whole thing. And I would think that in every single area, Tyson comes out on top right now. For Joshua's standpoint, and if I was looking after Joshua or whatever, I would tell Joshua it's a 6-round fight, and I would tell Joshua that he had to go out and literally give everything that he had for the first 6 rounds, because after that, in my opinion, I don't think he can win. He's got a height disadvantage, there's a weight disadvantage. We know that Tyson's no slow. We know he's got a great chin. We now know he can punch. Any heavyweight can punch. That's, people say, oh, Tyson Fury can't punch. Nonsense. If a man that size catches you on the chin, you're in trouble. So we know that that's rubbish as well. So, there's almost like for Joshua rather, there's a Mike Tyson approach to that. Go out all guns blazing, give it everything for 6 rounds, and really train that way and prepare that way. Because for me, he cannot beat Tyson Fury down the stretch. There's just no way, Andrew.
That's quite interesting. You said that if you were in Joshua's team, you would tell him to pretend it's a 6-round fight. Now, if Tyson Fury started that fight the way he did the Wilder fight, came out guns blazing, I mean, we could be in for something special here, couldn't we? And now again, people ask this question: do you think Tyson can do what he did against Wilder to Joshua and put it on him and stop him like the way he did?
Well, the possibilities there, but stylistically, you've got to look at the different aspects of the fight, and I don't think that. I don't think that. I don't think that Joshua's tactics would be anything like Wilder's. I think he'd be a lot more cautious. I think he would try and start at long range, and I think he'd try and shorten things up to the point that he was throwing like looping hooks over the top, and I think he'd try and catch Tyson just like kind of cold, where when it starts going down the stretch, Tyson's like perfectly well warmed up. He's kind of normally by then got your measure, he's got your judgment, he's used to your power, and he would start for me, he'd be leaning on Joshua, I'd be hitting him on this side. I think he'd tire him out. I think Joshua would look gassed by 8 or 9, in my opinion, and Tyson, remember, he's got a massive height advantage, I think 3 inches, and a weight advantage as well. I think in his last fight, we've seen him fight at a weight where he looked physically comfortable. I think in the past he's maybe been a bit guilty, or the people round about him have maybe been a bit guilty, saying, you need to get a bit lighter, you need to get in shape, you need to look. But I don't think that works for Tyson. I think he's better when he's heavier.
What's your thoughts on it being out in Saudi Arabia then? There's talks about it being out there in the Middle East. Again, us, you selfishly being that we are from this little island here, we'd probably want it here, maybe in London or Manchester, but maybe it isn't an arena big enough, but Wembley, I suppose. But what's your thoughts on it being, again, another major fight taken out to Saudi Arabia or Middle East?
Well, I mean, it's, of course, I think a lot of the British fans would probably be like, oh, are you serious? We'd love to be there. But I still think it's, people will buy the pay-per-view. The whole world will watch that. Nobody will miss out on that fight. There is just no one that will miss out on it, whether they're watching on TV or they decide to, jump on a plane and head out there. I think it's it doesn't, for me, that fight, I'll break it down like this, it doesn't really matter where it takes place. The whole world's going to be watching it. All the eyes of the world will be focused on that fight, and it's just as simple as that. It doesn't matter where it is. I
mean, like I say, it's a fight I want to see, so again, I don't care what it is either in retrospect. You know what I mean? I will pay for the pay-per-view for it, so if it's in Saudi Arabia, London...
You'll no need to claim for the pay-per-view. You'll be out there. They'll fly you out there. much.
Aye, but I need somebody to come with me, Alex. You coming over?
Oh, of course I will. You know me. They need to twist my arm up my back. We'll be there. We'll be there.
Where does this leave Dillian Whyte, do you think, then, Alex? I mean, he's been mandatory for so long now, and it seems if Wilder takes step aside money, he'll get the winner, so that means Dillian Whyte's going to get pushed even further back. So, I'm sorry for Dillian a wee bit.
You do always feel a bit bad for him, don't you? You really do. I mean, I do, certainly. I get on quite well with Dillian as well, and we chat often on Twitter and stuff, and he's a fantastic big guy, and, you know, he just wants his shot. He just wants his big night, and, you know, and he's a very, very dangerous man, isn't he? And he could upset a lot of things for a lot of people. But I think it's that kind of thing. Even if he did upset a lot of things for a lot of people, you'd probably still be quite happy for him, because, you know, he really has waited his time. He's hung out, he's stayed his course, and he's really kept the faith, hasn't he? And he's just stuck with it. And you're like, come on, man, give that guy a shot. He deserves a shot now. He really does. And, you know, you've got to take your hat off to Tyson for saying, I think a few months back, you know, I'll give Dillian Whyte a shot. You know, the man deserves it. You've got to take your hat off to Tyson for that. You didn't really hear many other people saying that, do you?
Nope, definitely not.
Dillian, you know, so because he's a very, very dangerous guy, and, you know, we know that left hook, if it lands on anyone, potentially they're going to sleep for the night. So he's a terribly risky. He's really is. He's like part of the Who Wants Him club, and everybody really wants to get in there with Dillian, but they can't deny him for much longer. That's for sure.
He's banging on the door, definitely.
He definitely is, mate. Definitely.
What's your thoughts on Eddie Hearn as well, Alex? I mean, he's looking to bring boxing back in the middle of July. Basically in his back garden, he's going to put up a ring in Matchroom HQ, put up a ring, do all that there. When that came out, when Eddie said he was going to do that, what was your initial thoughts? Do you think it's a good idea? Obviously, it's a good idea. So.
I mean, Eddie's he's a wee bit ahead of the game. He's always thinking about the next move and what he can do to make things better for boxing, and, you know, deliver the fans fights, and you've got to respect that. And I really do feel that, you know, he's probably the kind of guy who is pretty much like me and you sitting there in sheer frustration right now that things aren't moving on, the fighters aren't getting fights, people aren't getting paid. You know, it's just ridiculous. You know, and you know, for Eddie to think about maybe doing something like that, I think it's brilliant, and it'd be great. It'd be great to see some live boxing. I would, you know, anybody that says it. When Eddie said that, I was like, that's a great idea. That's brilliant. Get me back in the DAZN studio. I'll commentate on that, because I'm missing it all so much, man. It's crazy.
I know, mate. I know, I'm the same. I would rather be, because normally I spend about an hour and a half, 2 hours in that gym when we do an interview. Not just the interview, we get a good chat, we get a coffee. Right. I watch the boys do some like pad work and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So this is absolutely killing me, but it's needs must.
So now we're watching you dancing like a fully qualified pro dancer on social media.
Did you see that on Instagram? Did you like that?
I enjoyed it. Very impressed. I was very impressed.
I see. Now you know what I'll be like in Shanghai, the nightclub. Now you know what I'd be like.
God, that's a bit young for me. I'm marry a Lulu, man. We'll head to Lulu. Shanghai's too young for me.
Aye, Shanghai's too young for me as well. We'll go to Lulu's. We'll go to Lulu's. We'll go to Lulu's. Again, your thoughts on, see, when you were fighting, Alex, and sort of like this was sort of like happening in your time, this quarantine and stuff like that. Yeah. Would it have been difficult for you to stay motivated, because you never really had the gym, did you? Like this sort of.
Nah. I probably would have been in the region of 90 kilos as well, or something. I would have been so overweight. I still would have trained daily. I would have done something every day, because I always did. You know, I always probably done a wee bit too much, to be fair. But I would have put on a lot of weight. It would have been really, really hard for me. And you've really got to feel for the fighters just now as well. Actually, like, you know, I was chatting with Josh the other week. We've been chatting quite regularly actually lately. And, you know, I really did feel for him, because, you know, he was supposed to fight a few weeks ago, get a nice payday, you know, defend his title, and, you know, and enjoy his celebrations and stuff afterwards. And, you know, he just said, you know, after the night I was supposed to fight, I kind of just lost all motivation, Alex, to just like keep even going out a run and stuff. But so it's so hard, man, for the guys. You know, it's so hard for these guys, especially guys like Josh right now that are in the prime of their career, and they can't get out there and show their skills to the world, and, you know, keep advancing and moving forward to try and make bigger world title fights, maybe even move up in weight. It's just, everything's came to such a sudden halt, and it's just a bit shocking as well. But I really do feel for the fighters right now, and, you've got to feel for the fighters as well, that, you need to bring them up. Guys who are at the very, very, very end of their career, that are possibly on the fringe of one last big fight, to get a few quid in the bank, remind the fans how good they maybe were. And, and I'm not being disparaging or anything like that to anybody here, but you've got to think of guys like Kell Brook right now, and, and maybe even Amir Khan that are, maybe at the very end, and, their fight's only got to happen now. What are they going to be like after all this stuff's over? They're still going to have a wee bit in the tank, or so. It's no good for boxing. This is no good for boxing. Period. Is it?
I'm saying that as well. Like, with this, if Eddie does bring this back, there's going to be no fans there. They're going to fight in front of nobody. Maybe the training team. I mean, first of all, how would you have coped with that? Because I remember being at a couple of nights in Meadowbank when you used to fight when I was just a kid. The atmosphere at Meadowbank was phenomenal. So how would you have coped with fighting in front of no fans?
It was ridiculous. I mean, I can't even understand. Like, I can't even think of what that would actually be like to walk out there into an empty hall. I mean, you remember it sometimes in the amateurs, in the early stages of big competitions, the Worlds or the Europeans or something like that, where the arena was pretty empty and it was massive, and it was a big fight for you, and there was hardly anyone there. It's not the same. It's just not the same. I was thinking that the other week, actually. I was saying, like big fights at Bray Head, Wally Lemons, like 8,000 people there or whatever, and imagine that being empty. Wow. So odd.
Again, finally, Alex, obviously with this happening and stuff like that, we're going to have to see more UK fighters against UK fighters sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to have to see it because we can't obviously get opponents in from abroad. So with this sort of what Eddie's planning to do and stuff like that and bringing boxing back, what matchups would you like to see fighters that we might not get to see, but now we get to see them now because it's obviously it has to happen?
Yeah.
UK matchups
for me right now. I mean, you really have to look at it's Tyson and Joshua all day, really, isn't it?
In Eddie's backyard.
I mean, like we said earlier, it doesn't really matter where it is, what part of the world it is. If the guys in the Middle East can pull that off, and and stuff like that, and they can make it happen, amazing. But Eddie's backyard, the world would still be watching. It doesn't matter where that fight takes place, and I just really feel that at this point in time, in terms of UK matchups, that's the biggest one there is. And in my opinion, followed by another fight I would love to see again, Lee McGregor and Cash Farouk. Man, what a fight that was. Unbelievable. So, I mean, we've got an abundance of world-class fighters right now in the UK, and, we've got a few in Scotland as well that, I'll have to say that as well. Not that I'm patriotic or nothing like that, or like bragging about Scotland, but but we've got a few world-class fighters in the UK just now and in Ireland, and it would just be brilliant to see a lot of them, fight against each other. But for me, Fury, Joshua, Dillian Whyte, you've got to throw them into the mix with either of they guys as well. And for me, I mean, they talk about Josh fighting other UK fighters and stuff like that. No competition for me personally. Josh wipes the floor. No disrespect to any of the guys, but they're not on his level. He wipes the floor with every fighter in the UK for me, for lightweight to welterweight. So no point in mentioning anything like that. Not being patriotic again, obviously. But,
there's no bias there, Alex. There's no bias at all.
There's no bias at all. There's no bias. Us Scottish people on the back, we're no biased.
Nope.
We're very universal people.
Alex, we can't be biased because we're shite at rugby and shite at football. We can't be biased. We've got nothing to cheer about.
Well, I've got Josh Taylor.
We've got Josh Taylor, yeah, there we go.
Man.
So that's the thing as well. It's like I've got to say, like, what you're doing right now. Did you say that Macklin just walked into the gym there? Did he just walk in, or was it Junior?
No, it was actually Mark Shaw.
It
was Mark Shaw. Mark just came in. I think he just popped in to say hi. I think he was next door in the office, so I think he was just coming in to say hi. Macklin and Alec have both trained today. They trained earlier on. Alec done some road work this morning. Road work day for Alex. No road work day for Macklin. They do it on different days, so I try and give them a wee bit individual attention. Alec was doing the boxing gym earlier, but Macklin wasn't. So he done his dumbbell circuit and his band work at home today. So But big day training for him, the more easier for Alex. I'm just trying to break it up and work
Aye.
that. But aye, so we're back in tomorrow. We're in every day.
So I've noticed, mate.
If it's an off day, we're cleaning. You know what I mean? So,
what we'll do, Alex, before I let you go, I want to say we'll get an Instagram live going so we can have some interaction with fans and guys. Yeah. We'll do that. We'll organise that. I'll message you after this and we'll organise a day for that. I'll get a couple of brew dogs in myself and we can.
That'd be class.
Cracking.
Good. But it can't be next Friday because I promised Ross for seconds out with day part 2 of the.
Did you now? Did you?
Well, we maybe got to do part 2 tonight, but I said I cannot do that to Andrew.
Imagine if you did that to me, man. I'd be gone.
Oh man, I'd never get another coffee in my life.
Exactly, mate. Or a cake, because I know you like your cake. So
or a cake, man. Or anything off you, man. For that matter, eh?
Alex, before I let you go, mate, and enjoy the rest of that brewdog there. I mean, have you got anything you'd like to add? Anything you'd like to say to people watching this?
No, just that obviously want to see boxing back up and running again. Want to see all the big fights. Like we're on the same boat. Hats off to all the promoters and guys out there that are really trying to make all these fights happen despite the times that we're in. Fantastic stuff for everybody involved, especially at MTK. Everybody's still trying to make big fights happen. Eddie Hearn's working hard. Everybody's working hard behind the scenes and just can't wait till everything kicks off again. And I'm back commentating for the Zone. I'm really excited about that. Looking forward to calling a few of the live fights and seeing a few of the superstars at it again. And particularly for me, Canelo. I love watching Canelo. Even Lomachenko, all these guys. Usyk. I just can't wait to see all the guys back in action. And I'm looking forward to getting back in the corners again, watching wee Mac knock people out as he always does. And I just cannot wait for boxing to start again. Canelo says, he's got a tattoo that says, what is it, boxing is life, or
boxing is
life. No life.
No boxing, no life, yeah.
No boxing, no life, that's it for me. He couldn't have put it better, and it's a good time to put it. No boxing, no life. But life's tired without boxing. Let's get the boxing. Nicola Sturgeon, if you can hear me, let's get the boxing going.
I was always saying, Nicola, open up them fucking gyms, man, let's go.
I know, I'm going to message her as soon as I get off this. Did you watch that interview? Well, watch it.
I've not watched it. What interview's that?
Yeah, this one that we're doing right now.
Oh yeah, no, I'll tag her in it.
Aye, I'm going to message Nicola after this as well, privately, and say, Nicola, have a good look at that. Come on, get the boxing back up and running.
Look, it's all about mental health, Alex. We need the boxing.
Aye.
Right, Alex, I won't give you much longer, mate. Like I said, man, I appreciate your time. We'll get on Instagram live after you've done a second one with Ross, because obviously Ross is your favourite, and then there's me, and then there's whoever, So brilliant. We'll get that sorted, mate. Alex, as always, thanks for doing Five TV. Hopefully next time I interview you, it'll be in the gym.
Good to see you, bro.
You too, brother. See you soon.
See you, my man.